got to talk about the Red Wings trade deadline. So right now, the Red Wings are down 1-0 to the Florida Panthers. And I'm not going to let that affect the commentary that I'm going to make, although I can't say that I'm going to be perfect. They traded for David Perron. Okay. At first, I was like, don't tell me that's the only move they're going to make. Please don't tell me that. Bringing back David Perron is their big move. Then they trade away Elmer Soderblom for a third-round pick. And I'm like, oh, no. Is this really what we're doing? But as it turns out, they actually were going to use that pick to trade for Justin Falk. Justin Falk. Falk. I don't know. Whatever the guy's name is. And I was like, okay, good. Yeah, you bring in a defenseman. You needed some help on your demon core. Okay, solid enough move. I can live with that. But here's the thing. Right now, the Red Wings have probably, in my opinion, the biggest stretch of season right now, for their schedule. This week, I think will determine whether they collapse or whether they don't. Because here's the thing. They got off to a good start. 3-0 win against the Devils on the road. That's good. No Dylan Larkin. They go out and they win. And John Gibson goes down in that Jersey game. They still go out and they win. Okay. Now, you got Florida, who's up 1-0 on you. Now, this game's not over. It's the first intermission. It's fine. You got Tampa Bay on Thursday. And you got Dallas on Saturday. If you lose this Florida game, it's a good shot that you lose that Tampa game. You lose that Tampa game, it's a good shot. You probably lose that Dallas game. If they go out and they lose 3 in a row, the collapse could be on. Because at that point, the Red Wings would have just 2 wins in the month of March. And they would be 7 games in. They would be 2-5 in the month of March. And the only other game that you could say, the only other couple of games that you could say definitively that absolutely they are almost certainly going to win these games, Calgary at home, Philadelphia at home. The rest of the games, you got Montreal at home. You got Boston at home. Ottawa, who always plays you tough at home. Buffalo on the road, who's a complete wagon. Pittsburgh on the road, and also a complete wagon. I'm not telling you that this is and on top of this, the other point I wanted to make here was that I don't know if I already mentioned Dylan Larkin. He goes down again. And this is I think the second time in the month of March that this has happened where Dylan Larkin, despite having a great year, despite, going off in the Olympics or in the All-Star tournament, whatever it was, to get hurt again. It's like, okay, I'm not saying that he's a bad player, but if this is what it happens every year, then what's the point? What's the point of him playing really well until when we need him most, when he goes down with injury or when he collapses or his play falls down? We are at a point right now, standings wise. Let me pull that up for you. If they go out and they lose 3 in a row, okay, Montreal is 1 point behind them with 2 less games played. And need I remind you, you play Montreal this year or this month. Boston is 3 points behind you with 1 less game. And once again, you play Boston this month. And lest I bring up this point as well, you are the only team in the Eastern Conference with a negative goal differential that is in a playoff spot. Every team that's below you, many teams that are out of the playoffs that are below you have a positive goal differential. And I'm not saying goal differential is the end-all, be-all stat. It's not. But if you got a negative goal differential, it's got to be a hard time for me to really think that this is going to be a team that's going to go into the playoffs and make some noise. And here's the other thing. As much as just making the playoffs would be a massive success, would bring a little bit of hope for me in Steve Yzerman's tenure, If you make the playoffs and you go out there and get body bagged, you might as well have not made the playoffs. If you make the playoffs and you just get massacred, like you don't win a single game or you win just one game, then don't even show up. And again, these collapses have happened. So if you want to say, well, this team's different, every year, basically since Steve Yzerman's gotten here, March has been just complete collapse. And now you're not sure about whether your goalie is going to stay healthy. Is he playing right now? I don't know. He might not be playing, but this is multiple times now where he's left a game or where he's gotten hurt. And Larkin's hurt. Who knows how long he's going to be hurt? You know, like, we already know this team is not great on 5-on-5. You don't have to be, I'm not being a hater for pointing that out. That's just a fact. They're not a great 5-on-5 team. The numbers bear that out. But again, there's still a good amount of season left. Okay? And you haven't collapsed it yet. You're still the 3 seed. Okay? But this week, this is a make or break week. If they go out here the rest of this week and they just look terrible and they're getting beat and they're not scoring and they're playing bad defense and goaltending's not all there, like guys, it will happen. Believe me, I've seen it. I've seen it now 2 years in a row where it's happened. And I'm not going to fall for it again. That's why I said all year long, wait until March. Win in March, and then I'll care. Because I'm not going to invest in this team just because, all the people who have been believing in Steve Yzerman, despite all evidence to the contrary, tell me to believe in him. Just not going to do it. Hey, YouTube, if you like clips like that, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We've got live shows every Tuesday night. Hope to see you there.